How are you?
Sorry.
Where?
This way, sir. To the pharmacist and then.
Well done. Check one place. Thank you. What happened? Eh? Thank you so much.
As a member of His Royal Majesty Oba Abdulwasiu Omogbolahan Lawal, Abisogun II, the Oniru of Iru Land, and our Queen, Oniru Lawal. This is the tree planting and beach cleanup exercise flag off ceremony, one of the activities marking the coronation as the 15th Oniru of Iru Land. Will you please be seated? Kabiyesi Iru Land. Will you please be seated? Kabiyesi, with your kind permission, I'd like to invite to join you on the high table our keynote speaker for today. He is an international expert on environment issues. He is a distinguished professor of chemistry from the University of Lagos. It gives me great pleasure to invite, especially and welcome Professor Babajide. Can we give him a round of applause? Please. We also have with us some of our revered leaders from Iru Land. In due time, I would duly acknowledge and recognize all of you, but let's just put our hands together for the ballets who are with us. Thank you so much, sirs, for coming. Whilst we await the arrival of some other guests and partners who would join us, we would invite them accordingly to sit on the high table. I'd also like to invite two of our royal guests who are here, and one person to represent all the ballets who are with us here. Can Bale Osholu please join Kabiyesi and Olori and the guests on the high table? And last but certainly not the least, can Chief Olowa please also join Kabiyesi on the high table if he's here. Please give them a round of applause. We have some of our partners here. We will give them an opportunity to share their goodwill messages or remarks before we listen to the keynote address. As you can see in the agenda in your hands, this is designed to be a short ceremony. It's not supposed to keep us, so we can move to the tree planting site where the trees to commemorate this event will be planted, and after which we would proceed to the beach for the cleanup exercise. We have with us our partners here, volunteers as well from Beach Samaritans who are working with us. Can you just wave and let's put our hands together for them. Thank you for your support. Now, we were supposed to take a good welcome remark by the private secretary to His Royal Majesty, but Mr. Kintoye is held up. He's actually here, but he's held up. So we'll skip that. Since Kabiyesi is here, Kabiyesi will say a few words much later. We'll go straight to the goodwill messages now, and I'd like to invite to kick off, to give us a very short goodwill message, the representative of the Ministry for Agriculture, who is here. Mr. Olubile, please, let's hear from you first. We know that Kabiyesi is very dear to you, and you are here to represent the ministry and to support your former boss. Sir.
And still my boss. Kabiyesi. And the honor which the members of the high table are keynote speaker today. And I greet all the panelists and I greet the organizers. I'm here to represent the Minister of Agri, the Acting Commissioner for Minister of Agri, Ms. Bisola Produsoya, and the Permanent Secretary, and all the members of Minister of Agri. I'm here to give a very, very short goodwill message. It is our pleasure to be part of this noble idea. You know that Kabiyesi is our boss, full of ideas. At every turn of event in the ministry, Kabiyesi is always coming up with different ideas, especially for the youths, and then something that will make appreciable impact on development of the state generally. Now that Kabiyesi at this level, God has bestowed and given him this very, very exalted position at the ministry level, we are not surprised that this kind of program is coming up. Kabiyesi has been the brain behind of the youth training agri-KS in Pe Araga. Kabiyesi has also been the brain behind of the Songhai farm in Badagry. We are also at the present stage taking on lab for youths. That is youth entrepreneurship, which is currently in force. So we are very much in support of what the Kabiyesi is doing, and the ministry at every turn is ready to partner with Kabiyesi according to the acting commissioner and the members of the ministry. On a final note, I want to especially congratulate Kabiyesi and Olori for this novel idea, which borders on environment, because we know that tree planting has a great impact in climate change. So we very much in support of what Kabiyesi is doing. Don't be surprised. I'm a chartered accountant representing Minister of Agri. I will not take tree planting the way you want, but we are here today to support our Kabiyesi and our boss. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you very much, Mr. Olufili, representing the Lagos State Ministry for Agriculture. We are not trying to take Kabiyesi away from you. We said former boss and still, don't worry. I'd like to now invite Sisi Deshola Lamutu, she's back, to give a short goodwill remark on behalf of Beach Samaritans, our partners for the tree planting and beach cleanup exercise. exercise. Let's give her a round of applause. Passionate advocate for over 2 decades.
Good morning, everybody. Your Royal Majesty, Olori, special guests, my beach Samaritans, and the wonderful people of Iru Kingdom, and the press. You're all most welcome. Today is a wonderful day. We thank God for the beautiful weather. We thank God for the rain of yesterday, which is going to help us with the tree planting that we're going to be doing. They call me the Green Queen, and I'm green. I love greenery. So, His Royal Majesty's bid to get Iru Kingdom green and clean totally resonates with Beach Samaritans. This is what it is that I have done for the past 21 years. And it's a great pleasure for me to be part of it. I am so happy that we're going to be planting trees. It saddens me that, I don't know how many people know, that they're actually cutting down trees in Ikoyi. And I believe that with KBAC, that will not happen in the Iru Kingdom. We're going to be planting trees all over the place, not just the symbolic ones that we're doing here today. We're also going to be cleaning the beach, and because we want Oniru to be clean, and we also want the people in the land to understand and appreciate the importance of cleanliness. We also want to promote tourism and environment. When I say we, I'm talking about His Royal Majesty's Foundation and Beach Samaritans. We're working together. This is something that I believe is a noble cause that we should all imbibe. We want the beaches to be clean and green, and that way we can actually get tourists to come in, both domestic and also international tourists, to come into Iru Land and also Lagos State generally. These are ways that we can promote tourism, make Lagos appreciate and make it a better place for all of us to live in. So we're going to be planting trees today, and I know that whatever it is we plant is going to be a revolution for tree planting in Iru Land, and also to be copied all over Lagos State. The beaches also, I believe it's something that needs to be clean, and again, Oniru is also going to be a flagship for other people. A lot of times I go to the beaches, they are not clean, and it puts people off. So we want to welcome them, we want to encourage them to come, and that's why it is we all come out here. In fact, having people come out on a Thursday during the week to come and support shows that Iru Kingdom is here to promote cleanliness, greenery, and safety, and we are going to be leading in Lagos. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you very much to Beach Samaritans. I don't know if we have our partners from Inside Class here for a good remark. If not, then we will move on very quickly. We also are expecting a trustee or two from His Royal Majesty Abisogun II Foundation for Peace. Wow. For Peace and Development, which is also known as HIVE. HIVE is a development initiative, non-profit organization that has been recently launched and is a vision and the brainchild of His Royal Majesty Oba Lawal and Olori Mariam Lawal. So HIVE is leading this, and that's what Sisi Alamu too was talking about when she said Beach Samaritans and HIVE are going to be working together. I've just been told that we don't have 455 seedlings more. So we have 2,000 seedlings in all and not 500. Please let's give KBAC a round of applause. Also to quickly say that the issue of some of the trees that were felled in Ikoyi, KBAC is very much aware. Even, I think almost right before it happened, and he has engaged as well on that level to know why those trees had to come down. And we also have commitments to ensure that many more trees are planted to replace that. And that's why we're planting only 5 here. because if you plant more than 5, it might affect the development and all of the structures that are here already on the palace ground. So rest assured that this is the beginning of great things to come. 2,000 trees, imagine what that would do. Please, let's give Hive another round of applause. In the absence of our other partners, I think I would like to, at this point, invite our keynote speaker to give us his address. He'll be talking about the theme, A Tree Can Save a Community.
His Royal Majesty, Oba Abdulwasiu Omogbolahan Lawal, your delectable Olori, the Queen of the Palace, Madam Olori Lawal, members of the Oniru Royal Council here present, our Baales here present, our partners in matters of environment, particularly singling out the Beach Samaritans, who indeed we have known for several years for excellent job. Representative of the Honorable Commissioner for Agriculture, Lagos State, Mr. Olubili. You said you are an accountant, but today we are conferring on you an environmentalist. Gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me start by giving sincere acknowledgement to Kabiyesi and the organizing committee for inviting me to give the keynote address at the maiden edition of the ceremony that is dear to our hearts and that is planned to be an annual event in Iru Kingdom, the kingdom of aquatic splendor and one of the most exclusive communities to reside in Lagos. Please let's give a round of applause to Iru Kingdom. Let me also add by congratulating our brother, our friend, intellectual Oba Abdulwasiu Omogbolahan Lawal, attaining the throne at this time. We are so proud of you and we will continue to be proud of you, sir. In fact, I commend the foresight and vision of Kabiyesi in seeing the need to mark his coronation with a tree planting exercise. Tree planting and beach cleaning. This is indeed an indication of his abiding interest in the ecology, the environment, and the general well-being of his domain. This event is designed, and I quote, as one of the thought leadership initiatives of His Royal Majesty Abisogun II Foundation for Peace and Development, otherwise called HAIIF, which is focused on advocacy, mobilizing strategic partnerships, reviewing best practices, coordinating public, private, and non-profit engagement to support the government of Lagos State with fresh ideas for sustainable development. The planting of trees has not only grown to be symbolic for commemorating milestones in the life of man and communities, but also a recognition of the role of trees in the global discussion of climate change, its mitigation, and environmental sustainability. Hence, the title of the thematic title for today, A Tree Can Save a Community. Everyone should unite to fight climate change. Very apt theme for today. The importance of trees in urban renewal and environmental protection is clearly highlighted by the UN Environment Programme, UNEP, with the Billion Trees campaign, which on the last count has instigated the planting of over 13 billion trees in 193 countries globally. Here in Lagos, the Lagos State Government since 2007 has institutionalized the 14th of July of every year as the state's tree planting day, where residents, institutions, private organizations, and government agencies alike are encouraged to plant trees within their localities. We thank God that my humble servant is here, instigated the government way back at that time to start the tree planting day. Thank you. This year, the tree planting exercise was in honor of frontline staff who are at risk of their lives, ensure that we are still able to stay ahead of the fight against the virulent Coronation pandemic. So the state government marked the tree planting day this year in honor of these frontline staff. This is an indication of the seriousness and significance government and organizations have attached to the act of planting and nurturing a tree. Trees are natural entities which are as old as the world and have different cultural significance to different people. Trees represent life and community and continuity. In almost every culture attaching spiritual, ancestral, or communal beliefs to trees. In the rich African cultures, including the different beliefs of the Yorubas, some trees are sacred and even some are deified. They are revered as symbols of productivity and ethereal life. Thus, sacred forests and groves abound within our communities, where the cutting down of any tree is forbidden. This goes to show that trees save communities in their daily living and their heritage. I quickly ask the question, how do trees save the community? In recent decades, the significance of trees has been highlighted by the central role they play in global climate dynamics. The gargantuan leaps in industrialization, fossil fuel combustion, and other anthropogenic activities have continued to drive the level of emission of greenhouse gases, such as carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, beyond the capacity which the earth could naturally sustain. This is even more alarming when coupled with deforestation and wanting urban expansion, which reduce the earth's green cover. The frequency and intensity of natural disasters as a result of these untoward activities of man are now exceeding the management capability of humans, with intense increases in temperature, flooding, and erosion, decimating lives and properties. Therefore, mass tree growing programs to absorb the greenhouse gases have been at the core of attempts to reduce the level of atmospheric carbon dioxide, which is the main driving force behind global warming and climate change. Like the lungs of the earth, trees, through their photosynthetic process, absorb carbon dioxide, convert it to carbohydrate, and release oxygen for community survival. Through this carbon sequestration, they help regulate ambient environmental conditions and global climate while utilizing the carbon for growth. You can therefore see that tree is life. The more trees we have, the healthier the environment and the healthier the life of the humans that inhabit a particular area. In coastal settlements, such as in the Iru Kingdom and other adjoining areas in Victoria Island, Lekki, Ikate, Aja, etc., the presence of trees is very critical in providing very fresh air, improved health of the people, reduced hospital attendance, preventing respiratory health problems, flooding within the communities, and erosion of waterfronts and beaches. And I put emphasis on reduced hospital attendance because we have done research and we have data to show that when the tree planting campaign started in Lagos State, hospital attendance went down. There is empirical data to support that from our research. We did a survey of before and after. Before tree planting started, how were people reporting in hospitals? After the tree planting started, what is the situation? We found that people got healthier and therefore there was less need for the hospital with the tree planting that started. Because trees help to purify the air, they reduce noise pollution, they enhance biodiversity, and provide natural cooling effects. All these attributes, ladies and gentlemen, will be harnessed for the comfort of man and maintenance of good healthy living. Therefore, tree planting must be made a mandatory part of the physical development of any community. As a tree grows, it absorbs more carbon dioxide, and as the number of trees increases, so does the amount of CO2 extracted from the atmosphere. In fact, we have data to show that a young and a 10-year-old tree absorb about 5,900 and 22,000 grams of CO2 per year, respectively. An acre of fully grown trees is capable of absorbing 2.5 tons of carbon dioxide in 1 year. It has been estimated that 321 million acres of trees are needed to combat global climate change globally. This necessitates that everybody must be involved in this effort, individually and collectively, to ensure that the dangerous part of climate change and its accompanying consequences, which we are presently treading, is reversed. Beyond the significance of today's event to the Kabiyesi, with each tree planted representing a decade of his life on earth, this occasion will serve as a catalyst needed to spur the people of Iru Land towards ensuring that at least one tree is planted within each household in Iru Kingdom. And also, this will facilitate a tree planting focused regeneration plan for the beaches and waterfronts of Iru Kingdom and its environs. Moreover, we need to also point out that the designs of new buildings should, as much as possible, incorporate existing trees on the project sites at the planning stage. We are trusting that the Kabiyesi will insist on this, that any property development going on or going to start in the Iru Kingdom, trees must be incorporated in the design. But if the cutting of trees is unavoidable for putting up some houses or some development, 4 or more trees should be planted in lieu of any tree that is cut to put up a building. everyone must unite to fight climate change. If every individual makes out effort to grow trees within the environment, the fight against climate change will be impactful, and the combined effect would only but engender a healthier living environment for the people of Iru Land and the world in general. Let me digress now and let you know that closely tied to the innumerable value that trees offer is the need for the beaches in Iru Kingdom to be kept clean and pristine. The present practice of unrestrained marine litter and plastic refuse disposal to the environment is horrendous, to say the least. I want to confirm and affirm that this is very close, this horrendous situation is very close to the heart of our Kabiyesi, and we thank God for him that he wants to do something about plastics and plastic pollution in the environment. The coastal landscape is frequently impacted by marine litter that impairs recreational uses and causes a lot of touristic value and poses a grave danger to the economic prosperity of the area. Beyond the aesthetic impact of plastic pollution, marine litter also bears potential economic implications to maritime activities such as fisheries and the aquaculture sectors. We have opened up fish in the research of our marine biologists and found plastics lining the guts of the fish. They've opened up fish caught in our waters, and they found foam, plastic, sitting inside those fishes. The plastic can introduce cancer to whoever eats such a fish. And you never know what the plastic has even done to the flesh of the fish before you eat it. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can see we need to do something about plastics in our waters. A typical litter, be it nylon wrapper or empty water bottle or used food packaging or synthetic fabric that is tossed into the ocean, can travel long distances with currents and winds. In fact, we have data to show that between 61% and 87% of all the marine litter are plastics. Fishermen who are in the room or in the audience who know how much plastics, broken nets, destroy their motorboat engines. Many times the propeller of the motorboat engines get caught with plastics, and it costs them a lot of money to restore. Intentionally or accidentally discarded fishing gears pose special risks for large air-breathing marine animals, including endangered species, which get entangled in the nets. Plastic pollution from such poor municipal waste management has continued to be a major problem, compounding ecological issues arising from unparalleled urban development activities. We must halt indiscriminate use and disposal of plastics. A regular beach cleanup is therefore a very apt and necessary strategy to make us have healthy beach at Iru Land, which will bring back the paradise that we desire. Kabiyesi desires that Iru Land, Iru Kingdom, will come back to the paradise that it is. And one of the ways we can do so is to keep it clean. Beach cleanup is usually a voluntary activity among concerned citizens. The Beach Samaritans are a clear example of that. And around the world, along coastlines, people pitching in to collect the trash to make the beach a nicer and safer place for everyone. So we greet the Beach Samaritans who are here with us today for what they are doing, and don't relent in your activity. Nevertheless, Kabiyesi, in conclusion, Kabiyesi and the civil ladies and gentlemen, we congratulate and give kudos to you for recognizing the very serious environmental challenges, especially facing Iru Kingdom, consistent with the kingdom's physical location and economic stature.
I'd like to thank once again all our partners who are here, the Ministry of Agriculture, Lagos State, We Cyclers, Beach Samaritans, and of course, Iru LCD. Thank you so much for your partnership and your support to make a success of the activities that we have held so far to mark the coronation ceremonies, as well as the initial set of initiatives for the HRM Abisogun II Foundation for Peace and Development, HIVE. So much has been said. Prof challenged us, he said, to make this more frequent. He spoke about trees in designs. He touched on a number of things, and I guess it is only befitting to allow our Kabiyesi to also say a few words and of course respond to some of the things that we have said here today. So it gives me great pleasure to invite to say a few words to us our chief host for today, the one in whose kingdom we are taking refuge, as it were, under this tent, and who has graciously welcomed all of us to this event and leading by himself. He came here earlier, he went round the stands to see for himself the medical mission that started yesterday, and he's here as well. So let's please put our hands together or rise as we welcome His Royal Majesty Oba Abdulwasiu Omogbolahan Lawal, Abisogun II, Oniru of Iru Land. Abisogun.
Thank you very much. Please sit down. My wife, my amiable wife, Olori Mariam Lawal. The keynote speaker, my friend, my mentor for over 15 years, Professor Oba Abdulwasiu Omogbolahan. All the white countries represent, the baddest, the board of trustees of Abisogun House, the beach Samaritans, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. This is a good opportunity for us once again to have a new beginning in the environmental space. Over the years, I've always longed for this opportunity in the environmental space. As Commissioner for Agriculture years back, I think when I first became the Commissioner for Agriculture in 2011, I and Professor Alo were involved in the resiliency of climate change. What mitigation strategy can the Lagos State government put in place to ensure that we reduce the burdens of climate change? And that period, we were having climate change summits every year until recently that we stopped. But I'm told that the climate change summit organized by the state government is also going to start next year. Why this initiative? As a passionate environmentalist, I believe we can do so much in the environment space to increase the lifespan of our community, that is, individuals in the communities. Professor Alo had already explained the reason why we must plant a tree. And I want to take a line from his speech, and I quote, "A young and a 10 years old tree absorb about 22,000 grams of CO2 per year, respectively. End of quote. With that, if we can continue with this initiative, and I pray we're going to continue, our target from this year onward will be for us to be planting 2,000 trees yearly. And I want to implore all the major stakeholders in this community or in this kingdom to see that we get this done. The implementation committee will be set up, working with relevant stakeholders, Ministry of Agri, Lagos State Park and Garden, that is last park under the Ministry of the Environment, and the resident association. I believe once we can get that done, a lot will be achieved in the tree planting and in the environmental space. Climate change is there. In recent past, after the ban of Okada and tricycle in Lagos, we have seen that, if you watch CNN very well, we have seen that the air quality of Lagos has improved. Before it used to be red, that is fine, that's in terms of category. Now it's now good, blue. That has a lot to do with our awareness. And that is what I will be bringing on board as the king of this kingdom. And I cannot get it done all by myself. I'll need every one of us, all the big Samaritans, the other major stakeholders in the community and beyond. So today, we will be planting 1,955 seedlings of coconut. Coconut will be 450, while other trees will be about 1,500. What we have currently today, we have about 1,000 coconut seedlings and other tree seedlings. That will be done by us giving seedlings to individuals, homeowners, tenants, people that really believe in this cause. And I want to believe it is important for us to believe in this cause. It's not because of today, but it's because of future. The other major initiative which I also want to allude with the decision or the proposal of Professor Alo, that why can't we be doing beach cleaning monthly? Beach Samaritans, are you in line with me? Is it possible for us to have that done? For us to be doing that monthly? So what I want us to do is for us to be having it once a month. We will come up with this committee, strategic committee, or the implementation committee for us to put that in place. We can be doing second Saturday of every month. With that, the palace will continue to support you. I also invite our friends and other major stakeholders to see that we get that done. People may be asking, why is this Kabezi passionate about plastic waste? If you don't know, I think Prof has already told us some of the reasons why we have to be passionate about plastic waste. That fish that you're going to buy, do you know the carcinogenic contents of that fish? You may not know, but globally, a lot of organizations are coming up, even United Nations are coming up with how do we take care of life below the water. As we are taking care of life above the water, that is taking care of ourselves, the plant, we should also look under the water. Lagos State, Iru Land is a coastal land. We are bordered by the Atlantic Ocean. And regularly, more than the sizable population of Iru Land are fishermen. In no time, if care is not taken, we may end up not finding fish to fish in our water, whether in lagoon or in the ocean. As Commissioner for Agri, I was Commissioner for Agri for 6 years in Lagos State, and I can tell you for free, extinction is already coming closer to our fish. So for us to prevent that, the best solution is for us to see how we can reduce, how we endanger the fish that we consume. So myself and the foundation, working with relevant stakeholders, we want to see how we can reduce the usage of plastic, how we can reduce the usage of single-use plastic. If we look around us, you will see that we have big malls, we have ShopRite, we have Spa, we have so many restaurants. We also have so many hotels. Those hotels, those restaurants, they are sources of plastic waste, disposable plastic. We also have event centers around us. Just count 1, 2, 3, so many of them. And on a regular basis, we have waste, plastic waste, coming out of those entities. We need to do more. I'm ready to champion that cause. I'm ready to work with relevant stakeholders. I'm ready to see that we reduce the single use of plastic bags. I'm ready to see that there must be a way whereby we can find solutions. Instead of plastic bags, we can use biodegradable bags, paper bags. With that, a lot will be achieved. But today is the beginning of the change that I believe we can all get done together. I want to acknowledge the presence of the Special Advisor to the Governor on Sustainable Development Goal, Mrs. Sholakwe Amon-Beshi. Sholakwe, come on. Sholakwe and I, we were colleagues at ESCO, and Sholakwe is also very passionate about what we are doing here today. And that said, from here now we will go and plant trees. We will also let some individuals have their own seedlings. Thereafter, you will go to the beach to clean up the Oniru beach. That's where we are going to start from. Professor Allah, Baales and chiefs here present, gentlemen of the press, beach Samaritans and other NGOs here with us. I want, on behalf of the Palace, the Oniru Palace, to say thank you for honoring my invitation and for also ready to work with me in this very innovative and very environmentally friendly initiatives. That said, thank you very much. Ìlú ìyá máa gbèsè owó máa gbèsè ọmọ fún wa. Gbogbo nǹkan tó bá dá ọ lé á máa ṣe fún wa. Gbogbo gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wá wá fún medical mission náà ara yín á máa dá o. Àwọn aboyinlé á máa bìtìbìtì o, àwọn àgbọ̀n á máa tọwọ́ làbọ̀sùn, ilé olókùn ilé ọlọ́sà á máa wọnú ìlú ìwà bá wa. Ẹ ṣé púpọ̀.
Can we give a resounding round of applause to Kabiyesi? Thank you so much, Kabiyesi, for those words. We would take Mrs. Hammond's brief remarks, then we would wait a bit. Those on the high table will have a short group photograph. After the group photograph, we'll move to the site of the tree planting, where 5 trees will be planted. And I think some representatives of Beach Samaritans can join us, and the others can head out to Oniru Private Beach.
Professor Alo, esteemed members of the high table, good Beach Samaritans, I'm very excited to hear we're going to be doing some work together. Our royal fathers and other dignitaries here present, ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, thank you very much. I'm very privileged and honored to have been invited to be here. Indeed, I had to cut short another activity, which is why I'm late, but I'm here to plant my trees, so that's the most important thing. I must congratulate Oniru Kingdom on the Iru Kingdom, my apologies, for having such a visionary and compassionate and caring Kabiyesi. It's an honor. I'm moving to Oniru. Please, can I come? Kabiyesi is a visionary. That's one thing I have noticed in my 1 year plus now of my encounter with him and having had the privilege and honor of working with him before he ascended to the throne. And it's very clear that he's bringing, I feel like God has been preparing him over the years just for this. You know, he was studying, learning, working, implementing, creating, strategizing, not knowing he was coming home to use it for his people. I cannot express to you the excitement that we have, certainly, you know, all his former colleagues in Lagos State cabinet have, because we know what it was going to look like in the next 5 to 10 years. You can't even begin to understand it. We know what it will look like because we know the plans in the heart of the Oba and his knack for getting things done very quickly, very innovatively. So I am personally very excited. As he mentioned, I am the special advisor on the Sustainable Development Goals and Investments. But beyond that, I have always been a passionate advocate for sustainable development. I guess that's why I got the job I got. And so all the things that Kabiyesi is saying so resonate in my heart. Beach cleanups, you can count on us to be your partners. Tree planting, you can count on us to be your partners. I arrived here and I'm so surprised to see a medical mission. You can count on us to be your partners. So, you know, I'm speaking on behalf, I have the privilege of speaking on behalf of not just our office, Lagos State. You can be sure that we are your partners in development. There will be so much that we can do. All the things you said now about single-use plastic, you know, everything that is topical, everything that is relevant, Kabiyesi intends to do to lift this community, which is already one of the most blessed communities in Lagos. This is the place with, you know, the highest real estate value in Lagos. But all these things Kabiyesi is intending to do will bring even greater prosperity for our people, which is why I'm moving to Iru Land. So that I can also be a beneficiary. So, you know, I just want to commend, I don't know if you can commend Royal Majesties, but to thank him for his benevolence and to assure him of our continued partnership. I have no choice anyway, when he summons me, I jump. So congratulations to the people of Iru, looking forward to planting the trees and tending them, and thank you very much for the honor.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Hammond. So without much ado, I'd like to thank everybody for coming. Kabiyesi Olori, Professor Alo, Mrs. Hammond, Sadu, all other guests, with your kind permission, we'll take a group photograph just here, and then we would move to the site of the tree planting, where you have some white feathers over there. And that will conclude the ceremonies here, and then we'll head out to Oniru Private Beach for the beach cleanup exercise. You're most welcome. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Have a wonderful afternoon. Yes.
Shalafi?
So,
Yeah? Local government chairman. Prof. Yeah, I will take that. Prof.
The essay, Prof, and LCDHF.
Yes, we are good.
5 streets.
right. Okay.
Can be a sister anyway.
I agree.
Housing also. And also for houses. Also the man to show them.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right.
Yeah.
As this tree will grow tall and green and produce fruit, so will Iru Kingdom. Happy to share, we not try. Yes, please. What am I? My tree is going to be the tallest.